Give me a minute. I want to talk about something important that's happening. Do you see that right there? That's the serial number for this particular Russian munition, for this warhead, this missile that was sent into Ukraine. Now, some of you saw the video of the Kinzhal falling in the Dnipro, and you can be sure that the Ukrainians are going to be fishing that thing out of there because it's basically intact, unlike this puppy here. And what the Ukrainians are doing is forensic analysis. They're tearing this apart. They're looking at all of the components that are in it, looking at the serial numbers, and then tracing those components to the manufacturer. So every single person in the Russian supply chain who's operating shell corporations in the United States and Canada, Turkey, Hong Kong, India, wherever they are, they should know that they're being targeted now. That what's going to happen here, or what has been happening here, is that these missiles get torn apart. They find that less than 1% of the missile is actually made in Russia, right? They buy off-the-shelf components from the rest of the world. Over 3,000, almost 3,100 components in Russian weapons come from the United States alone. Now, what are we doing about it? Well, the Ukrainians are tearing them apart. They're figuring out who manufactured the components, looking at the serial numbers so we know when they were manufactured. And then, knock, 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 the FBI is at the door of the salesman in America who worked for whoever the manufacturer was and saying, hey, buddy, we got these serial numbers. You sold these serial numbers. Who'd you sell them to? Give me your client's name. And the shell companies are being uncovered. In the United States, law enforcement has already put behind bars 24 Russian assets that were dealing in these sanction avoidance schemes, where they would buy the components in America as purportedly for a shell company. Then they'd ship the components to a third-party country like India, Hong Kong, Turkey, etc., Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Those were big ones. And then those shell companies would pass the components on to the Russians. Well, knock, knock, knock. The FBI is at your door, motherfuckers. You can't evade sanctions. You can't take advantage of Western technology, Western innovation, the free market system, in order to wage war against a free and democratic people on the part of an authoritarian dictator bent on genocide. It's slow. God knows it's a slow process, justice. But it comes. It comes eventually. And it's coming for you. And the Russians know it's coming. You know why? Because they're scratching the serial numbers off. The problem is there's too many components. Every component from the West has a serial number. They don't get them all. Some of them are hidden, right? They're not exposed. And we can trace them. And we are tracing them to you.